Happy New Year, everybody. I would love it if you could get up and sing along with me.
Can that girl sing or what? Hey, can that band play or what? You guys are great too. Hey, good morning everybody out there. Welcome to Unity of Boulder and our second service at 11 o'clock, which is going to be, of course, led by Santisha, the co-minister with myself. And I'd like to ask you, are you having a happy new year already? Look, and everybody said yes, right? It's fantastic. All right, and it will continue to be that way. We are now moving into a more positive year, a positive, beautiful, healing, loving year in this new year. Keep that in mind as you go about your business out there, wherever you are. Wherever your relationships wind up this year, remember, just to bring peace, compassion, and love into every relationship, because that's what this year is about, and we're going to heal this coronavirus and be done with it before the end of this year.
Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. My name is Mike Shadle. I'm the administrator here at the church. If you ever have questions, comments, or concerns, my office is right over here in the bookstore. Please come in and say hello. I always enjoy that. I got a few quick announcements of upcoming events that we're starting the year off with. Unity has a singles group, and the point of our singles group is it's to get you into the mindset to get into a relationship. It's not so much of a mingler group, but that's going to start meeting this Tuesday at 6:30. It is online. Please contact us in the office if you'd like to attend. It's free, and it always meets on the first and the third Tuesday of every month, and that's led by our good friend Nancy Lee, who's been doing this quite a while. So if if you're interested in that, please check it out. Please contact us, and we'll let you know how to get in touch with that. Now, our next class coming up, our first class of the year, it's going to be called The Eye of the Storm, and it's based on the book of the same name. This is an SEE class, so if you are looking to get credit towards becoming a licensed Unity teacher, this class will give you credit towards that. It's going to start January 12th, and it's 6 weeks long. It's 6 Tuesdays in a row from 6:30 to 8 p.m. This one is also online on Zoom. It is led by another good friend of ours, Joy Cleary, who is a licensed Unity teacher, and her classes are always well attended, and the reviews for them are always fantastic. It's $85 plus the book, and you can get both in our store. You can do it over the phone, or you can do it on our website at unityofboulder.com. Please call us with any questions about that. And lastly, our Spirit Nia dance classes that we've been having over here in Fellowship Hall are resuming their regular schedule this week. There's a class that's Tuesday at 9 a.m. and at Thursday at noon. But this Friday and next week won't be meeting, but then it will just resume Tuesdays and Fridays at 9 a.m. and Thursdays at noon. It's $13 a class, or you can get a $100 10-class punch card, save a little money that way. Santisha takes it almost every class and swears by it. So come on out and dance with her and have a wonderful day.
Good morning. Let us take a moment now to pray. And today, let us not pray from a place of supplication. Let us pray today from a place of our power. Let us pray in affirmation. And as always, let us first take a moment to breathe. In this moment, just let go of the world, let go of our thoughts. Just relax into this moment, this time spent with Spirit. Father, Mother, God, Universe, today we are claiming our divine inheritance. Father, Mother, God, Spirit, we are so grateful for the power that we have within us. We know that within us, we have infinite light. We have invincible love. And we have endless peace available to us in our hearts. Now together, let us all just empower this prayer and empower these blessings by feeling them already manifested in our lives in this moment now. So affirm with me and feel with me the following. I am the light of the world. This is beautiful and bright and clear light emanating from within. I am the love of the world. Our warm hearts are just full of healing and nurturing energy. We are the peace of this world. Each of us has that peace like the deepest ocean that we can relax into and spread out into the world. Father, Mother, God, thank you so much for the power that we have within us now. The power to truly create a new world and a new life. And we feel this power. We claim this power now. We believe in these blessings. And we are grateful. And to this we say, Amen.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. Rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? What do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep? And have you heard voices? 'Cause I hear them calling my name. Is this the sweet song that calls the young sailors? Voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. La da da dee da da, la da 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 dee da da doo.
Thank you for that beautiful singing. Wonderful way to start. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Nice to see everyone here on live stream as well. We're getting used to this tide of being, we got a decent sized crowd here considering, and the blessings of the people that are showing up online. We're an incredibly blessed center for sure. So today my talk title is from the Bible, Behold, I make all things new, which is in Revelation 21:5. Spirit is putting a new song into our mouths, and we must sing it. The mountains and the hills break forth before us into singing. We cannot resist. Praise is our ever new delight. Let us meet the new year with optimism and new sight. In praise, we will vie with angels and archangels for their guidance and their help. Behold, I make things new. Those words have a lot of room for hope and room for us to expand our awareness from all that we've learned in the last year. When we make something new, it gives us an opportunity to let go of the past. It's the opening up the eyes. It's going into the sparkle. It's being reverent of the words we're sharing to ourselves and this world. Do we want to carry what's old and done and limited from the last year or the years before? Or do we want to start singing the song that was birthed from the things we learned from things falling away last year? Right? One of the most wonderful things when you go through a difficult year, which collectively pretty much everybody did, some found real enlightenment through it, and all of us did, but we found what we no longer want in our lives. If, isolation and being separate from community and being with our thoughts and being with, a lack of outer things to do has let us really witness what we don't want. And so it also has created the contrast for us to become aware of what we do want. And that's a beautiful and powerful witness to come from to create anew. So how pleased we are with that which is new. Our children's eyes sparkle when we talk of giving them a toy or book which is called new. For our short-lived human nature loves that which has lately come and is therefore like our own fleeting selves. In this respect, we are all children, for we are eagerly demand the news of the day, and are all too apt to rush after the many inventions of the hour. We are always so eager to start something new, to pursue the next new thing, the next goal. But in order for us to create a clear goal that we want to put prayers behind and put actions behind and create a new world, a new experience, we have to take a tally of the last year. That recognizing the last year, it's not to bring it forward, it's to witness that which is no longer serving us. We hope for something new. We hope that this newborn year will not be worse than its predecessor, and we pray that it may be great and we'll deal with it better. So when we look back on the year 2020, I saw this viewer talking about something on a show I was watching, and she said, finish this sentence, 2020 has been. And she was interviewing different people, and these were some of the answers that they said. 2020 has been a train wreck. 2020 has been an awakening. 2020 has been never ending. 2020 has been a dumpster fire. 2020 has been the year no one could have predicted. 2020 has been where we've seen people coming out that have put themselves in danger to save others, and we can't even believe the bravery. 2020, this is what has to change. This is what humanity is about. And so she asked, so what helped us get through it all? And the collective answer is, we found ways to come together. Community became super important, and how we did community had to change, right? We had Zoom meetings, Zoom family meetings. We had holidays where we visited with grandparents and grandchildren over a computer. We had phone calls that lasted longer than they used to, because all of a sudden the awareness of our time with our loved ones became hyper-focused, hyper-important. The common phrase is the valuing of authentic relationships, really recognizing what relationships are truly authentic in our lives and the ones that are not. That was shown to us in a very poignant way through the year. Who really do we feel loved by, and who we really love? Who is adding to our beautiful life in our community and who is not. We've gotten clear about what truly matters in our authentic relationships. So the common phrase that is circulating is social distancing, which describes the measures taken to restrict when and where people can gather to stop or slow the spread of the infectious disease. Ironically, with the onset of social media and the smartphone, most people have been socially distancing themselves for the past several years. It was commonplace to see people together in close proximity, completely disengaged from one another and absorbed by their smartphone. May we learn to value our authentic interactions and come to see how life, especially our spiritual life, is a journey we undertake with others. We have to be willing to invest the time and energy to engage personally with other people and show interest in their lives, that it may lead us to deeper communion. That's what we learned from seeing for the years leading into this now isolation, that we were told we had to be in isolation, and yet we were choosing, many of us were choosing some sort of isolation even in the presence of others. So let it be learned by our understanding of being disengaged that we need community and we need a deeper communion with others, more authentic, more honest, more real. Scientists say your mind isn't confined to your brain or even your body. Dan Siegel, a professor of psychiatry at UCLA School of Medicine and the author of Mind, A Journey to the Heart of Being Human, says he wrote his book now because he sees so much misery in society. And he believes this is partly shaped by how we perceive our own minds. He talks of doing research in Namibia, where people he spoke to attributed their happiness to a sense of belonging. When Siegel was asked in return whether he belonged in America, his answer was less upbeat. I thought how isolated we all are and how disconnected we feel, he says. In our modern society, we have this belief that mind is brain activity, and this means the self, which comes from the mind. And it's separate, and we don't really belong. But we are all part of each other's lives. The mind is not just brain activity. When we realize it's the relational process, there's this huge shift in the sense of belonging. In other words, even perceiving our mind as simply a product of our brain rather than relations can make us feel more isolated. And to appreciate the benefits of interrelations, you simply have to open your mind. So he is saying that the mind is not just enclosed in the brain. The mind is so much more. It is connected through the ethers. We can communicate with each other without even speaking to one another. How many people see that in your life and you think of certain people and they call you? Or you think of a person that you haven't thought of and you're sitting next to them in a car in 2 seconds in an intersection. We are so divinely connected, and yet we've become more and more separate, and then in this last year we're reminded of what is truly important. And it really comes down to community and our belonging. And belonging to this greater picture of love, this greater picture of life, which is our family that we choose, not just the family we're born into, but the people that are our friends, the people that show up, the people that we dance with, the people that we work out with, the people that we run and we go on trails and you pass the same people and you feel like you know them and you've never even really said anything more than good morning or hello, but you look forward to seeing them on that same curvature because you go at the same time. That connection. That feeling of belonging. So many of us make a New Year's resolution. In some matters, the old is better. There are certain things which are already so truly new that to change them for anything else would be to lose old gold. Hope springs up at the first sound of such words as these from God, "Behold, I make all things new." It is fit that things so outworn and defiled should be laid aside, and better things fill their places. This last year, we all have been through a lot. I'm sure most of you took a tally on how this shutdown and COVID played its part in your lives. It was a helpful year to figure out what you don't want in order to plant a seed of what you do want. So I was going to go through my list, and you can go through your list, and we can take what we've learned from the list of things that we went through in the last year. I started 2020 of last year with one of the highest moments of my life. I picked up Marianne Williamson from her hotel with Mike and chatted with her about life on the way to the church. The church was bustling and it was packed with cars. It was surreal, and it was a moment I will never forget. Standing behind the stage with her, about to introduce her to a crowd of over 500 people, all who attended our center. And I was the minister of this place. And I was standing next to one of my greatest mentors of my life. And there she is. Look at the church. Look at it bustling. And all I could think is, it's only going up from here. Man, my life has arrived. And here's us. Mike and I could not get a good picture of us. We looked like crap in every picture we had of Marianne Williamson, so this is the best we could do. The lighting was just like, made us all look like 100 years old. Either way, I've got that picture. So one of the highlights of my life, obviously having children, all those things are the bigger highlights, but to be able to meet your mentor and to have them talk to you as an equal, and to be managing everything that was coming with bringing her here with her agents and all of that stuff, it was just a super surreal experience. And then within weeks, the country shut down. The church building was empty. The sound of the music wafting in the mornings from the NIA classes was still, and there was nothing. There was no noise of people moving around, shopping in our store, or revealing their latest insights on their path outside my office doors. Then to get used to an empty auditorium as we spoke only to cameras was a serious adjustment. My children were home from school, nowhere to go, to change things up with their bustling energy and trying to contain their depression while we were all going into our own circumstantial depressions. And then the winner. Okay, I've got a few winners of this last year, but this is a winner. I live next to a farm with pigs and goats and all sorts of animals. One of my dogs somehow caught some mite from one of those animals, like blowing onto her, and then that got to my other dogs, which you can imagine we're all COVID like crazy, and we're keeping our hands clean, we're keeping our houses clean. Now I have dogs, bugs all over them. I have to throw all of the rugs out, and for 3 weeks we're scraping dogs with mites all over them. And at one point, I just looked at Mike with all these changes, with the church, with all of it, and I said, I literally cannot deal with the animal thing. This is my cutoff. This is super gross, and I super can't deal with it. You know when you just hit the limit? I'm homeschooling, I'm making every meal, I'm having a grocery shop with COVID, I've got this church, I've got the dog thing, I super can't deal with it. And you know what he did? He took care of it. That's how great Mike is. He is truly a saint. I mean, this is a saint, because it's like, I don't hit my wall very much, but that one hit it. So he listened, and my God was my husband who came in and helped me. And then we had no family visiting for Easter. There was no Easter production. No family vacations all summer. Then the end of the summer, the fires were burning out of control in Colorado. I was evacuated twice from my house near Lyons. We came so close to losing everything in the second fire. Then the winter winds have been worse than ever, and last Tuesday a wind destroyed my barn and blew the roof over 200 feet away from its original structure and destroyed it. And later that night, one of my closest friends died of cancer. When I look back on this year, I pondered what I learned as I laid in fetal position. What have I learned? I think that's a question we all should be asking ourselves. What have we learned? Because I know it's not some God that was coming down to make a terrible year for me. But if we're going to have a dawning of a new consciousness, a new earth, a new world, it looks like there's a constant about letting go of outer attachments. Appreciating what truly matters, which is your family, your children, your dinners together, your phone calls with friends you know that are home and don't have the extension of family. To be more of a conduit of God's love for all, that in service we are rewarded. That all of these things were things that could fall away, but at the core, I have a husband that would wash 3 dogs 3 times a day. And they were nasty. But he's my husband, and I'm blessed, right? Who can say they have a husband like that? Or a wife like that? I wasn't the wife. What is truly important? And it pushed all of us to go back to our core practice. What works for us? It's the running and the trails for me. It's the Nia classes. It's being moved into the sounds of the music with a community. In Nia, we have a real core 5-6 people that do this together. And it's like, I don't know how I would have done it without you guys. You guys are here, some of you. And it was like to see each other at Nia each time. It was just like, that was our family. And we danced through it. And some of us ended the dance crying. And some of us ended the dance laughing. But we were a team. Moving that energy that was so stressful through our body so it didn't get stuck. So it didn't stop us from growing and moving forward into the divine nature that is being called for each and every one of us. 2020 was an opportunity to release that which is not needed and to renew our hope and our love for that which is. What is truly needed? You know, when we think about the New Year's Eve lists that we make, resolutions that we make, how do we come to making a clear list of things that we want to change? First of all, it should always be things you want to release and things you want to renew and do better. So today is the Sunday after New Year's, and therefore it's a joyous day. Though there's no real difference between New Year's and any other day. Yet in our mind and thought, it is a marked period which we regard as one of the milestones set up on the highway of our life. It is only in imagination that there is any close of one year and beginning of another, and yet it has most fitly all the force of a great fact. When people cross the line, they find no visible mark. It's all held in our consciousness. It's all held in what we've planted as seeds of what we want to grow in our life. And many of us planted that seed last year. By recognizing what no longer serves us, we planted the seeds of hope for the world, for ourselves, for the politics, for this environment, for all of the things that we were seeing unearthed to be recognized as, and the vibrations were all up here. And what can I bring to this energy to start calming it down? And it starts with me. It starts with the vibration that I share in my little nucleus. And then my little nucleus starts to vibrate out more and more of that which is being called for the change we want to see in this world. We have no more time to see the speck in someone else's eye when we have a log jam in our own. It's not up to us to correct others. It's up to us to be the change we want to see in this world. So how many of you made a New Year's resolution this last few days ago? 1, 2, 3. I think we have about 35, 40 people. So we have about 4 people that made resolutions. How many of you have stuck to it for the last 2 days? Oh my gosh, we got a wavering hand and 2 are making it still. So maybe the rest of you have gotten it that maybe doing that is just a guilt trip on ourselves, so it's another way for us to beat ourselves up because we have this list of like, oh, I ate that sugar. I didn't get up at 7 in the morning and I didn't go running. Now I'm going to eat a bunch of sugar because I feel bad that I didn't go running. And then I'm just going to sleep all day, and then I'm going to wake up and eat some sugar, Any resolution that's going to be accomplished has got to be love-backed. Love for self, love for God. I like that idea at the beginning of the sermon is we're vying for the angels and archangels' help. If we do not enlist God, Spirit, Source, whatever word makes you feel held, and the messengers of God, which are angels, sometimes in human form, in angelic forms, to help us come up to face the limitations of ourselves, then we will fall short and we will miss the mark. Because a great deal of fulfilling a list that you've created for yourself has to be connected with this greater power, this greater love we call God. Stephen R. Covey says, imagination, the ability to envision in your mind what you cannot at present see with your eyes. It is based on the principle that all things are created twice. There is a mental first creation and a physical second creation. The physical creation follows the mental, just as a building follows a blueprint. If you don't make a conscious effort to visualize who you are and what you want in life, then you empower other people and circumstances to shape you and your life by default. It's about connecting again with your own uniqueness and then defining the personal, moral, and ethical guidelines within which you can most happily express and fulfill yourself. But again, this isn't going to work unless you put it in the hands of God or in the arms of the angels. One of the great things, there's a video that Wayne Dyer did back when, and it was something you could listen to for about 10 minutes before you went to sleep, and it was putting your thoughts and your imagination and your feelings in the right place to create an abundant, healthy, healing life. And so you listen to it while you're falling asleep. But a big part of it was letting go of what was negative that day and spending time and pondering for what you were grateful. Even if you couldn't barely find one, to make one up and to focus on what you were grateful for. And then if you've made a goal of wanting to become vegan, or you want to make some big physical change, or you want to make a mental change and get rid of anger and sadness, or whatever the goal is, you don't want to pull the last year to here because you want to sit melancholy because you're more comfortable in your unhappiness. What we're doing now is we are going to find our happiness. And that means we might get uncomfortable for a second because we're kind of free falling in the arms of the angels with the vision of what we want to create. And we no longer put along our eyesight back on what was, but what is new. That takes control over your imagination and your mindset. That takes affirmations. Thank you, God, for opening up my eyes that everything is still good in my life. Thank you, God, that I can use the I am powers. I am powerful. I am healed. I am. Because it says in that passage, I will make things new. Where does the I am come from? It's from God. Because we are the extension of God. So I am going to fulfill my dreams. I am going to find the love of my life, and I'm going to believe it, and I'm not going to look back upon the relationships that have made me feel cut and broken and unhealed and unloved, but to find where I love myself and why I'm lovable so that I can attract somebody that will love the very core of what God made me as. And we can use this in our work, and we can use this in our existing relationships. Finding the I am powerful affirmations to attract to you that which you actually truly want. We have all tasted the precious things that happen when spirit is quickened in our hearts, and our loudest song will be sung forever and ever. We have all tasted the precious things that happen when spirit is brought into our hearts, and we sing from that truth. Not the old, limited, dead-over truth that hasn't been serving you up till now, but to sing your new song that you discovered from the things falling away last year. To sing a song of renewal. To sing a song of being open to opportunity. The process which we have roughly described as taking place in ourselves is in other forms going on in the world. The whole creation is travailing, all time is moving forward. Providence is working, grace is striving, and all for one end, the bringing forth of the new and better age. It's time for you to sing your new song for the new year, born from a blueprint that is presently being drawn from your deliberate wanting, from the seeds that you planted in the not-so-far past, to sprout into a more mentally, spiritually, physically, and abundant life that will last. So really, we can call on the angels and the archangels to help us to stay true to what we desire, to wake up and feel the passion to get those running shoes on, or feel the passion to throw the sugar out of the refrigerator and buy the correct stuff. But ultimately, it comes down to singing the song from a new consciousness, which is the preparation that comes from meditation, from chanting, from dancing, from listening to or watching inspirational videos on YouTube, from wonderful mentors and gurus that will keep you keenly focused on what is new or what you want so you can make it new. But if we get in our lazy thinking and we're singing the song of the past, we'll only recreate that which we all just experienced in the last year. To shape in your mind's eye that which you want to create. It's time to press the refresh button in your mind and create the most updated version of who you are. Every year, every opportunity that we have been given, it will either make us or it will break us. We can't see the line and the threshold that moved us from 2020 to 2021, but your mind can create that threshold, and you don't have to go back there anymore, and you can move forward singing the song of the powerful being that you are. These are not your settling years. These are your conquering years. These are all of our conquering years if we want to see a difference. This is the year that you decide what is new, what is fresh, And what is the new stuff that you're going to bring to it? And ask God to renew your mind. Because a new year requires a new mindset. So, in the midst of all of this, on New Year's Eve, I also found out that another really close friend of mine is going to be making his transition in the next week. And it just feels like it was non-ending, you know? It's like, where's the good news, you know? And I was super upset on New Year's Eve. Cried all night long. It just felt like it's just hard, you know? And the next day was waiting to have a meeting with our music director on Saturday. And my friend that's going to be passing in the next week called me. And he was consoling me. Just so backwards, considering the work that I do. But I was trying, it sounded like he didn't want to hear my emotions. He wanted to be in a prayerful place. What he said to me is, I don't want to focus on the dying part. I just want to focus on the present moment. I have so little time. I want to expand this day as long as I can, each day that I have, to be with what is precious to me, which is his daughter and his 2 grandchildren. And I don't want people calling me, and I don't want to hear all of their own stuff that they're carrying around death. I've been going to Unity for 35 years, he says to me. I've never been in one of our performances where he hasn't been a part of the performance. I don't know this center without him, honestly. And he said, and I'm excited to be open to the mystery of death. But I don't want to contemplate it till I get there. And when I was talking to him, I felt this palpable feeling of grace come over my entire body. A sense that God was holding me, as I know God's holding him. And it reminded me of when I lost my son, Luca, and that year after that death, the connection I felt to God. That when we're broken, hearted by something, when something cuts us so deeply, it literally opens us up to this greater love, this greater power that exists that we won't let ourselves feel, the support that is here, if we'll just let it. And we don't have to be fearful for people that are facing big challenges in their life because they're being held by that love. So I want to end this service bringing to people that have lost their lives this year, closing it with a song about angels, being in gratitude for the people that blessed us in our lives and that we made it through. And then we are going to rise. And we're gonna rock this thing. I love you guys.
Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for the break that would make it okay. There's always some reason to feel not good enough, and it's hard at the end of the day. I need some distraction. Oh, beautiful release, as memories seep from my veins. Let me be so tired of this straight line, and everywhere you turn, there's vultures and thieves at your back. The storm keeps on twisting, it keeps on building the lies that you make up for all that you lack. It don't make no difference escaping one last time. It's easier to believe in this sweet madness, oh, the glorious sadness that brings me to my knees in the arms of the angels. Fly away from here, from this dark cold hotel room and the endlessness that you fear. You are pulled from the wreckage of your silent reverie. You're in the arms of the angels. May you find some comfort here. You're in the arms of the angels. May you find some comfort here. Thank you.
What a beautiful message. And sometimes Santisha sums it all up so beautifully. I can't think of a more life-enhancing message that could have been given today in this new year. So I am so blessed to have heard it. I know you are blessed to have heard it as well. And that's what we're here for, all of us, in community of unity, to share the feelings of joy and love, compassion, and peace. So with that in mind, we're going to take an offering for unity now. And again, we do it with our COVID restrictions. We have to bring the offering or the amount we'd like to give to unity to keep our services, our counseling, our classes, our meetings, our administration, all of that has to keep going every day. So keep that in mind as you bring this offering that you'd like to give to Unity of Boulder. And let's bless it with this affirmative prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And now we also have a special opportunity. Someone most of you are familiar with, who has been in all of our shows as well. Sierra Samuel has done a video with an original song that she wrote, and we'd like to share it with you this morning.
When I open myself to the truth of life, I see what's wrong in the world, it's just in my mind. I can't do it on my own, but I know that I've got to just try. Keeping the faith that we're all gonna open our eyes. We're gonna rise. Sometimes I wonder how we're going to get from sadness and anger to bliss, from doubt and destruction to love. Then I think of the power that comes from belief. I know we'll get some relief from this hate and rise up to freedom. We'll rise up to freedom. Yes, we will rise. We're all gonna rise up to freedom. We'll rise up to joy, up to bliss, up to love. Gonna rise. And when it seems like the darkest night of my life, when I've given up hope, given in to my fear, and I don't know if I'll survive, and then angels come and tell me to get up and fly, that I'm never alone, I am one, and we're all gonna rise. We're gonna rise up to freedom. We'll rise up to joy, up to bliss, up to love. We're gonna rise. We're gonna rise. We're gonna rise. Gonna rise. Gonna rise. We're gonna rise. We're gonna rise. We're gonna rise. Gonna rise. Gonna rise. We're gonna rise. We're gonna rise. We're gonna rise. Do you feel it? We're rising up right now. Do you feel it? We're gonna rise. We're gonna rise. We're gonna lift up your hands. We're gonna rise. We're gonna rise. We're gonna rise. Take a step. We're gonna rise. We're gonna rise. Or get down. Give up your worries. Lay down your fears. Come to the altar and be healed right now. Right now. We're gonna rise now. Gonna rise. We're gonna rise now. Gonna rise. We're gonna rise. We're gonna rise. We're gonna rise. We're gonna rise.
All right. Well, that concludes our service. We're going to all rise and close the closing song, I Release and I Let Go. Super fitting for today, and we thank Sierra for sharing that video with us, and we can't wait till she physically can come back in the building. She's so amazing, such a big part of our center, so it's so nice to have something. We love Nicole singing all the time, too. It's great. So she is amazing. All right, let's do it. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit
Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. And so we're blessed.
Yes.
We have prayer partners available. They're wearing the white, beautiful scarves. If you want a prayer with someone, just stay seated and they'll come and find you.